Good morning YouTube, hope you're all having a good day. Today's video is a little bit different to some of my previous videos. Today I'm going to be talking to you about some boxing training prep that I did about a year ago. I had a boxing fight back in November 2016. It was a white collar event, Fire Brigade versus Police. I've never done any boxing before in my life, so I was partnered up with someone who was along those same lines, or a complete novice. I had around about 16 weeks before the day of the fight to prep, and my weight was currently 88 kilos. I had to get down to 83. He was fighting at 81, and you could be within 2 kilos of each other. I knew nothing about him. All I knew that he was worked for the Met Police. He knew nothing about me. All he knew is that I worked for London Fire Brigade. And the night generally was to create an event for our respected charities. So for the London Fire Brigade it was a firefighters charity, and for the police it was the COPS, Cops charity. On the night I think we must have raised around about £7,000. It was held at Clapham Grand in central London. The event was actually pretty good, I thought. There was about 13 fights that went on throughout the duration of the night, amongst auctions of boxing gloves, pictures, memorabilia, things like that. My training itself probably lasted around about 12, 13, 14 weeks. Initially I had 4 or 5 kilos to lose, so I was smashing the cardio. I got down to around about 84, 85 kilos. My trainer at the time said to me, look, you don't want to be practicing your sparring heavier. You don't want to be practicing your sparring lighter. You want to be practicing sparring with people at your fighting weight, 83 kilos. So as I was getting down to that weight, I started to incorporate more sparring in my training. The rounds on the night was 3 rounds of 2 minutes with 1 minute break between each round. So I based a lot of my training on 2 minutes. So it was 2 minutes extensive cardio, mental, a lot of HIIT training, all based on 2 minutes. Then I'd have a minute off, then I'd go back for 2 minutes, then I'd have a minute off, then I'd go back for 2 minutes. So those of you that are familiar with Tabata style training, this worked wonders. I used to do 2 minutes on the rower, 1 minute off, 2 minutes on the rower, 1 minute off, all high intensity stuff to get my heart rate right up. Obviously you can't really involve how nervous I was feeling. You know, on the night my heart rate was much higher than what it would be when I was sitting on a rower, for example. So you have to take that into consideration. As far as the sparring went, obviously being a PT, I do a lot of pad work with clients, and I have done in the past for many years. So I'm on the other end of that now. I'm having to put the gloves on. Someone else is taking me through their pad routine, which was quite hard to adjust to at first. But after a while, I started getting quite used to it. I see my weight drop down again. I'm now sitting bang on fight weight. I'm pretty happy with my sessions. Around about 8 weeks to go, 9 weeks to go, I joined a boxing gym, and also someone on my watch at work is quite a well-established boxer. He's been boxing for years. He's sort of 45, 46 years old. And he kind of took me under his wing a little bit. I basically sparred with him twice a week, and it wasn't, you know, let's just have a bit of a touch up. It started to get a bit naughty sometimes. He'd hit me and I'd get a bit angry, or I think I'd hit him and he'd get a bit angry, and then it started to get a bit naughtier and naughtier. I don't think there was probably 1 week that I spent without bleeding gums, black eye. You know, he actually cracked one of my ribs one day, and I was afraid that I might have to pull out. It's actually still, part of my rib cage here is actually still protruding now. It doesn't hurt or anything, but at the time, even driving, going round a roundabout, I would turn left or turn right, and the side of my ribs would be in so much pain, I'd have to literally sit up straight or pull over and stop, because it was hurting so much. But my point in all this is, come fight night, it was worth it. Every single time I spent doing 2 minutes high intensity workout, or every single time I spent 6 minutes doing high intensity workout, or every punch I took in the nose, every punch I took to the body, all the early mornings, all the running that I'd done, all the skipping, the taking the wraps off my hands, putting the wraps on my hands. It all takes time. And yeah, on the night I was crapping myself. The night before I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I was crapping myself. I met my opponent out on the actual day, and he seemed like a really nice bloke. We got on quite well. We actually had a beer after the session as well. So it was all very amicable between the Metropolitan Police and the London Fire Brigade. And it was just an out-and-out great event for both parties to raise some money for our desired charities. So I've actually got the fight on footage from November 2016, so I'm going to play that literally for you guys now. In the comments section, I know I'm not a well-established boxer, but if you feel free to write anything in there, things I could have done better, things I did all right, let me know how you see it and how you feel. Apart from that, I just want to finish quickly on this. One thing I learned over the period of my training is that I have a massive respect for anybody who steps in that ring, whether you've had 500 professional bouts or whether you've had 5. It doesn't matter. I respect anybody who actually steps up to the plate, trains for that, is willing to take a punch in the face, because you are going to get punched in the face. As soon as you put them gloves on and you're sparring next to somebody else, you're going in there knowing that they want to punch you in your head. So, from my perspective, anyone that steps in that ring, male or female, 19 years of age or 90 years of age, it doesn't matter. Massive respect to anyone who does that. So anyway, here's my footage.
In the red corner, we have Dan the Hitman Hart. And in the blue corner, his opponent, Terry Pring. Seconds out. Round 1. Fighters to the centre of the ring. Seconds out. Round 2. It's all over. Fighters to the centre of the ring, please. Ladies and gentlemen, your